#1 news. ABC 30 Action News, live at 4:30.
Frustration and fear of long-term effects are growing in Ohio after a train carrying toxic materials derailed earlier this month. Some people have reported illnesses, while Ohio state officials say thousands of fish have died.
Bipartisan support.
Ahead of a possible re-election bid, the president leaned heavily on the economy by pushing more taxes for corporations and the wealthy. Merced County officials, along with federal and state partners, hosted a town hall in the McSwain School gym to address the ongoing need for help after last month's devastating flooding.
Jocelyn, for you, I remember after you won gold at Fowler High, we were out there at your high school. I think it was the next day.
Yeah.
And you're out there practicing. I don't know what for, because you just won the gold medal. How soon do you get ready for potentially an NCAA regional run?
Tomorrow?
Is that right?
Stephen Hicks has been patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. Stephen, tell them about the place you picked.
Cosmopolitan, which has a rich history I didn't know about. You guys certainly did.
Yeah.
This is its second location downtown, and Dale, the food just as rich as its history.
You are a tradition guy, historian kind of guy. This place actually fits your personality.
It fits the brand, yeah. There's pictures too on the wall of like old baseball teams from the 1900s. Almost always this is how I refuel from those golf and hiking trips, yeah. And that cover picture right there, chewing on a towel. How many towels do you think you went through?
Well, he had one every single game.
How about 538 total yards of offense, and that was with his starting quarterback, Jay Kaner, playing just 2 quarters, really, before he left with that injury.
New Orleans is your childhood team. You grew up supporting Drew Brees. I mean, how do you celebrate something like this? This is crazy, right?
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't feel like real yet.
They just had the look of a team that feels like if they were able to get in, they think that they could go on a run. What do you see with this 49er team?
Those who have hiked to the top of Pincushion Peak can attest it is steep.
First 2 miles will kill you.
To get there, head to the South Feingold picnic area found at the end of Sky Harbor Road. Parking is $10 per car, but lawful public parking can be found just outside the gate.
Popular with our hikers, with our bikers, equestrians, and also people like the kayak and canoe.
Steve Barber, the supervising ranger for the Millerton Lake State Recreation Area, has seen that popularity soar.
Once COVID hit, outdoor recreation was at a premium. We saw our visitation increase significantly. As far as hidden, it may have been at one point, March and April of last year, we were on the map.
Busy on the weekends, but during the week, you could see more wildlife than people. Start on the San Joaquin River Trail, which can connect all the way to the Bureau of Land Management's San Joaquin River Gorge. But for this hike, we're heading 1.2 miles up to Pincushion Mountain.
Intend on doing this. Make sure that you come out early in the morning. Make sure you bring plenty of water. Make sure that you familiarize yourself and your body with the stresses of hiking a trail like this.
Shortly after starting out, make sure to close the gate to keep in the cows that are in the area. The trail then gradually climbs as you head around the mountain, but after about a mile, you'll head straight up. There are not 1, but 2 steep sections. Slow and steady gets it done, but feel free to stop and take in the ever-improving views.
All right, so you made it up the hard part. You made it up the 2 hills. Catch your breath here, but do not stop. Head up that trail, and in about 5 minutes' time, you'll hit the summit.
You have 2 options in this final stretch. Head right for more of a trail, or take the scramble up the left side for more of an adventure. A climb of nearly 1,000 feet in a little over a mile. Your reward is a 360 view of Millerton Lake to the south, Table Mountain to the east, and on a clear day, the Sierra Nevada. While we hiked this in June, depending on the time of year or the time of day, your views could tremendously improve. For a hike that starts just 45 minutes from downtown Fresno, it's not hard to see why this hike is surging in popularity. In Fresno County, Stephen Hicks, ABC 30, Action News.
Well, it is seemingly the age-old question. If you've got a day off, do you head to the beach or the mountains? Here in Felton, just north of Santa Cruz, a heavy dose of nostalgia will help you see both in the same day.
Nostalgia powered by steam.
Just like the old steamboats in New Orleans, it just like harkens back to a different time, a simpler time.
Here at Roaring Camp Railroads, that time is 1880.
The whistle is like how we tell time in town.
The town sits in the middle of a forest of old-growth redwood trees.
These are coastal redwoods,
That is just like magic.
The Train engines in operation here date back to the early 1900s. One still running from back in 1899.
I think at first it's shock and awe to see an old steam engine, see a guy hop up on a water tower and actually pour like 700 gallons of water into an engine all covered in soot and dirt, you know, and then be able to ride it up through the majestic redwoods.
There are two lines running. The steam engine takes guests through the forest and over trestle bridges up to the top of Bear Mountain.
I've heard many people say that it is one of the most enjoyable ways to go experience a redwood forest. Sitting in the cars and you're listening to the rhythm of the train while it's heading uphill, it kind of just lulls you into this really comfort zone.
If you're not happy with the view inside one of the cars, you can walk out into one that's open air to better take in the views.
Husband, wife, aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, great-grandma, everyone rides together. It's not like a park where I don't want to ride the roller coaster or I don't like to do that and everyone kind of gets split up. Here it's all family, all inclusive, so everyone can enjoy it.
The other line, known for years as the Suntan Special. Instead of going up the mountain, this standard gauge train takes you down the San Lorenzo River, through a tunnel built in 1875, and after an hour ride, you're spit out right on the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. Hang out for an hour or up to 5 hours, but be sure to catch the last train back up the mountain at 4 p.m. Norman Clark founded this camp in 1963 with the goal of recreating the logging rails used across California in the 1880s. Tragically, he died at the age of just 50, leaving his daughter Melanie to take the mantle of keeping alive this living history.
Seems like a labor of love.
It very much so is. It's not about money here. It's really about the passion and making people happy.
Parts to keep these authentic engines in operation aren't made anymore.
Everything's made in-house and kept up in-house, which is quite a project.
The camp has evolved through the years as they've added a Starlight Tour, a brew train, a Great Train Robbery, and around Halloween they dress up the engines for Thomas the Train Day.
I mean, it's like the Beatles for the kids.
While the 100-year-old trains are the focus, Clark hopes guests come away with a spirit of conservation, not just for the trains, but for the trees surrounding them.
When we're not here anymore, we need that still to be there for the future generation. The longer this goes, right, the more unique that experience to ride behind a steam locomotive and experience, you know, big trees.
Riding the train in Santa Cruz, Stephen Hicks, ABC 30, Action News.